And welcome to Fankhauser Reserve for near full round 16. This is near full TV and Michael Price, Mark Kennedy calling your action for you, and special comments from near full journalist Liam Detchering. Boys, this is going to be a very big game. The Southport Sharks at home to the Redland Bombers.
Yeah, will be. Both have already played twice this year, Pricey, and it's been close on both occasions. Redlands have taken the points on their last meeting, and I'm looking forward to Southport really sort of getting their midfield running. It was a big deficiency, and around the clearances and the stoppages is where I'm looking for them to improve on their last outing against Aspley. Liam?
Certainly, Kangaroo. Speaking to Matt Angus throughout the week, Southport coach, he said maybe with the 3 easier games coming in, their pressure was a bit down on what it's been earlier in the season, and Aspley was a bit of a wake-up call for them, so it'll be good to see how they respond today against the Redland side, who, much like themselves, are struggling with a bit of injuries to some key players. So it's a good chance today to test out the depth of both respective sides' lists.
Vital game in the scheme of things. You've got Southport sitting at 6th position on the near full ladder, Redland Bombers sitting at 5th. Southport with a superior percentage, but Redland with a game in hand as well. So absolutely vital for both sides. Liam, a quick tip?
I can't see Southport getting beaten at home 2 weeks in a row, so I think they'll get there, but it'll be another close match under 10 points.
Might have to agree with you there. What about you, Kanga?
I'm going to go against you both, and I'm going to go on Redlands. I think their midfield strength might be able to get them over the line today.
Well, let's see what happens. Southport last week as well, again had injuries with their ruckman. You've got Brennan coming in for them, and also it was Ben Headland's 100th game today, and he won the toss. They'll be kicking to the right of screen as Mark Kennedy starts your action here on Near Full TV.
So a big game here at Fankhauser Reserve. We're underway. Neither ruckman gets a hold of it. Burge in the unfamiliar 42. He's wrapped up there well by Brewer, and we will have another stoppage. So looking for Burge to have a real big game here today. Brennan gets that one away. Plenty of players around there. Gruel wrapped up. Trying to work the ball clear was Mills off to Cornish. The pass he into it early. Goes inside forward 50. And the Redland defence are up to it. And it is Scott who can bring it away and push it out to Salter. Salter can go quickly and finds captain or co-captain, one of 3, in Cars. Goes over the top now. Finds a teammate, who in turn can go up towards Big Hunter, had the hands on it and fisted away there by Brennan, out of bounds, 60 metres around from a Redlands goal.
Beautiful day today here at Southport. We're looking around about 23 degrees, not too much wind, so perfect conditions for football as the umpire brings it in at right half forward for the Bombers. Hunter flicks it over the back. Southport might be able to get it away here through Hill. Gets the handball away to Mills. He's surrounded, looking for options. Goes across the half-back line, looking for his teammate there in Burton. He gets tackled, gets the ball away, picked up there by Stewart, and rolled over the boundary line for another throw in. Here, early doors, first term, Southport versus Redland at Fankhauser Reserve. The throw in, the 2 ruckmen go at it again. Hunter punches it over the back. It's picked up there for Weller. Weller, handball away. Bombers now coming away with the ball through Howard. Gets the handball to Cass. Cass inside 50. Hughes was wrong-footed. Still did beautifully to get front position. Tries to control the ball. Southport can't get it away. Good defence, forward pressure in the 50 for Redland. Now onto the right foot. That's a beautiful snap coming through from Ubergang, playing his role in the forward line, kicking an early goal, and finishes off as he did last week, kicking 2 late goals against Eastlake.
Well, that's what he's been brought in the side to do. Obviously, a Queensland under-18 state representative. He's been really impressive throughout the carnival, and now he's come back. Good to see him get a chance on a bigger ground today. He's a really strong lead, and it'll be interesting to see how he goes. Really good start for him, Kanga.
Yeah, it certainly was, and the young blood have been injected into both sides. Of course, young Keys is another under-18 boy into the Redland side, and we do have some fantastic young talent on display here. Here at Fankhauser Reserve.
Weller and Cornish for Southport as well.
That's right. That's where I was trying to go. So thank you, Liam Detchering, to jog the memory. So back in the middle here. First blood there to Redlands. No clear hit out. Cars wrapped up and managed to get a handball away off to Pfeiffer, to Brewer. Put Thompson under pressure, or Rees I should say. Manages to get one away. Just a little bit indiscriminate. Here's Goldsmith. He's away. No, he isn't. So plenty of players and pressure around, and Cars picks up and takes it away and gives it off to Pfeiffer, who can go across to Salter at half-back.
Salter looks to measure a pass. He finds Josh Smith. Smith looks to go back inboard to Salter. Salter did the running for him, chips it aboard, and that's a good, strong effort by the Southport player in Shreve to rob him of that ball. They move it forward now. They've got some numbers. It's going to end up with Weller. Now forward, no, it's intercepted by Redlands. They'll bring it across half-back now. Got some options in the middle in Brewer, but Luke Scott did a bit of a pirouette. He sees Hunter, the ruckman. He kicks it a little bit wide for the big fella, but he controls it. No, yes. Tackled, though, by Brennan. Does the big stiff arm, gets rid of time. Handball back, and the Bombers kick towards half forward. Here he is, Ubergang again, the early goal kicker. Spills what he might have taken. Picked up by Zufa. Zufa scrubs a handball forward. Indiscriminate, as Kanga said early, and Southport should clear now through Mills.
So Mills goes up towards Goldsmith. Good body work there by Smith. That's Andrew Smith, and he'll bring the ball away. They can go laterally here. That's Lovett. Off to Salter. Didn't quite reach him, so he's under pressure, but good enough to get around. Then goes short, up the line, looking for Passfield. Again, didn't hit the target, and we have a turnover. So Burge, he got it from Weller. Just working chain of handballs here, and they're away through Clark. Clark can go inside forward 50. He's got Mellon all by himself. He plays on, goes into the open goal, and Southport answer. So good play there from the Sharks. My man, Eddie Mellon, the Enigma. He gets his first. He'll benefit, of course, from no Luke Rogerson. They've had some great tussles between those two, and Rogerson out for Redlands, and Southport, through Mellon, enjoying themselves early.
Well, certainly Rogerson's the one they always send to him, and he's out today. He probably had the better of him in the first two clashes, but he just got out the back there and kicked the easiest of goals. But it was just a really good transition from defence there from Southport. They really opened up the corridor, came through with a chain of kicks and cleaned the whole way through and finished off with a goal. So really good ball movement, Pricey. Ed
Mellon back in this week after missing last week's game at Aspley with a hand injury. Handy in front of goals, some good form as well. So it's all even here. Fankhauser Reserve early doors, first term. Umpire bangs it down. Slapped by Walbers, in dispute, under several. Picked up there by the Bombers now through Reese it is. Scrub for backwards, Brewer gets onto his right foot. He's confronted, sells the dummy, then spears a wobbly looking ball. Finds his mate in Zufa, who wobbles one towards the lead of Cleve Hughes, but Fraser Pope just cuts across, read it beautifully. He did nice defensive work and gave it to Shreve, who's away.
So Shreve, he turns it over though, only as far as Keys, the young man, goes backwards and finds Brad Howard. Howard just goes over the top there. Off to Keys. Well, no, sorry, off to Keys this time. That was Damien Stephen who had it.
Disposal number 6 for Keys. He's had a really good start to the game.
Goes backwards, trying to open up a bit of room. That's Smith. Goes across to the other Smith. That was Josh Smith who has it. Off to Pfeiffer. They've just set up across half-back. Pfeiffer can go up the middle now and does so. Finds Thompson. Thompson gives it off to Salter. Salter goes very short. Finds Godfrey. Only just the required distance, one would feel. Now they're held up as Southport push back. Goes wide. Has Lovett there. And Lovett has it half forward. Can come in board. Find the young man in Landry. Landry goes back. And again to Pfeiffer. To Smith. Andrew Smith. Now they've got a little bit of run. Again waxing with Josh Smith. Now they play on, so he's got to find a target here. Doesn't hit it, and here's Southport's chance to turn it over. Landry's there for Redlands, though. Plenty of players all around there. Lots of traffic, and the umpire says, give it to me. And just in front of the Neefel TV camera here, and in front of the beautiful clubhouse, we will have a ball up.
Now, Southport setting up really nicely defensively there. A couple of switches from the Bombers just not effective as Southport clear the ball now. Juggling effort from Weller. Umpire pays the mark, well deserved. He's got some movement. Spears a ball, finds Luke Shreve. So Shreve in front of the interchange gates for the Southport Sharks. He's looking for options. Not a lot of movement. Goes long down the line. Pack of players formed. Good punch forward. Pfeiffer rows it for the Bombers. He's tackled, confronted by Mellon, gets a scrubby handball away to Scott. Scott again, now it's intercepted by Southport. Mellon getting involved early, shrugs somebody off now, handballs it through to Geary, disputes it now to Tyne. Tyne on the left foot, good vision, chips it in 50 and finds his captain in Burge about 35 metres out directly in front.
It was just a really good contested ball win there for Southport.
Burge plays on, some very poor marking there from the Bombers. And just making it a little bit closer in distance, it's Goldsmith, 25 metres out on a slight angle there.
And just as I was saying, across half forward there, they got a really important contested ball win, which will get the confidence right up because it's an area they have been struggling in, obviously last week against Aspley, and really good to see that they're on top of that early.
So Jake Goldsmith strikes it well, it starts right, just squeaks in for a goal, so Southport hit the lead here early, his first goal of the day, so it's 2 straight 6 to the Sharks to 2 straight 12 to the Sharks to 1 straight 6 to the Bombers here early out in the first term on NEFL TV.
Certainly been a pretty even start to the game from both sides. Just looking at a couple of the possession winners for Redland, Keys is up to 6, 5 for 5. For Redland, and for Southport, Burge has started the game off really well with 4 and Geary also with 3.
Just obviously Southport flooding back in numbers to make a forward entry and quick forward entry is very difficult, and Redland have chipped the ball around looking for that target and just come undone, and then the fast break down the other end has brought dividends for them so far.
Well, you said they're possessing the ball quite a bit. It's 45 possessions to 29 in favour of Redland, as well as 22 marks to 8, but the inside 50s are actually being led by Southport at the moment, so just a touch more efficient.
So back again, we'll give that one to Brennan. The ball comes out to Weller. Handball is stymied. Now Pope to Brennan. Back to Weller. Now they go inside forward 50. Well done by the Redland defence. Just worked away to the front. Would have been Smith there. Howard. Under pressure, gets a handball away to Pfeiffer. Off to the young man, that time in Godfrey. Misses his target in Hunter, but he's got enough time to mop it up. Just lopes along, kicks it up towards Hughes, but just backing back nicely there was Thompson. Gets up just a little bit gingerly. About 45 metres out from goal, and he'll at least be able to chance to have a look at it. If he left it, he would have probably fallen into the mitts of ex-Southport player in Cleve Hughes. So Thompson. We'll have a good look at it here on the NEFL TV cameras. Comes around, starts or just goes to the top of the square in the finish. Leap there by Brennan. Should have taken that under little pressure. And just working the ball clear as a Southport defence. But it looks like Redland have got the numbers here. Baxter's there for Southport. Redland work it out. Goes off to Pfeiffer. Baxter applies the pressure, but Pfeiffer's good enough to get it away. Goes inside forward 50, and Zuffa with the 1 mitt takes it, and he'll go back. And on the left foot, he will be a fair chance to open this one up.
It's been a really good start to the game from Darren Pfeiffer there, and found a target inside 50. He's probably been a little bit down on his usual output this season. He's never quite been able to reach the levels we know he's capable of, but he's off to a really good start in this game with 6 disposals already.
So Zuffa comes in, 40 metres out. Just to the near side, and 1 behind results. So a near miss for Redlands, and a let off for Southport. And Stewart will give it off to Wells, and Wells down the line, and this will be Scott who mops it up and gives it off to Pfeiffer in the middle of the ground. They'll reload with Jones.
So Jones chips it into the centre of the ground to the runner Phil Cass. Controls it nicely in the end. Handball over to Scott. Scott, outer wing, finds a teammate as well. That's Lovett. Gets it down inside, looking for Passfield over the head of he and his defensive player. The big fella in Brennan can't pick it up. Slaps it forward now. It's in dispute. There's a tackle man. I thought he didn't have the ball. Obviously, he didn't have the ball after he incorrectly disposed of it, the umpire said. And Grayson takes the free kick. Goes down the outer side. Very stagnant as Tyne delivers the ball out to his teammate in Clark. Clark picks it up, handball over to the run of Stewart. Now here's a bounce, looking for a second one, chips a handball over the top. The Goldsmith gets the 1-2 back. This will be a magnificent effort. No, he centres the ball and he looks for his teammate there in Cornish. And it was a beautifully weighted kick in the end, Kanga. He just put it on the right side for Cornish, who made the right movement down inside forward 50.
What about the run of Thine then? Terrific follow-up play. He was prolific last week. He, I think, had 39 disposals last week and 11 marks, 4 inside 50s, 4 rebounds, so he was great last week.
So here he comes, Cornish. He puts it to the right and just one behind. Disappointing finish with such a great build-up. So the Sharks still maintaining their lead. It's 13-7 here in Nearfield TV. Bombers to bring it back in. It'll be Josh Smith in the goal square. Smith.
So Smith, he goes short. Finds the young man in Keys. What a sizable 17-year-old he is. MVP for the Queensland under-18s. Gets it short to Tyler Jones. Well, he was going to come down the clubhouse side, but decides to go laterally, back in front of goal. Finds Andrew Smith. Goes up the middle now. Finds Passfield. Has a man over the top. It's Hunter. He's just crept forward over the defence of Southport. Goes down towards Thompson. Had the sit there. Didn't quite work his man under the ball effectively to take it. Keller. Cars looked like he almost got in the back there. Now the cavalry arrive generally. Plenty of numbers around. And we'll have a ball up. Some 60 metres out from the Redland goal. Out of side. The ball goes up again. Hunter. Just taken without the ball. There was Rees. Very distinctive with that headband and the zinc. Goes off towards Zufa, but just chipping in nicely was Stewart, and Southport will repel.
So Stewart, very good last week against Aspley's Nellis. Named it in the forward line today, but interesting after what he did defensively. That's an ordinary handball intercepted here by the Bombers, and from 30 metres out. Absolutely drilled it, and the co-captain in Phil Cast finishes it off, and that was just making Southport pay for a mistake to put the Bombers back on level terms.
Just a shocking handball back inside 50, and Cast isn't going to turn away a gift like that. Just strolled in 30 metres out. Put through Redland's second. Scores a level here early on at Fankhauser Reserve.
So Kieran Brennan that was with the errant handball. He's obviously been out of action for a while and forgot which team he was playing for. Of course, topped up for the Gold Coast Suns earlier in the year, I think, as well.
Yep, certainly, and they lost another big man in Merritt last week, so it was certainly welcome news to have at least one guy fit to come back into the side.
Ball back in the middle. Here's big Willie Walbers. He got his hand on it first. Now winning the clearance, here's Mills. Mills goes with the left foot inside forward 50. Again, the Redland defence are there, and it was Scott. Quickly to Pfeiffer. Has a man just over the top. Tried to measure it off to Godfrey. Couldn't take it. And now Thine comes away. He's had a bit of it early and finds his captain in Burge. So Burge just wants to chip it short. Finds Clark. Gives it off now to Shreve. He'll try and get around Howard, but forced to go wide now. Has a man out there in Weller. And just holding it up at 60, but good lead there from Geary. Just didn't quite hit the target there. Geary follows up with a very good tackle, though. What will the umpire say? He'll say, give it to me. Thought it could have been almost holding the ball there.
Not a lot of prior opportunity there. Kanga might have just saved him there, but as you say, a crushing tackle there from Carl Geary for the Southport Sharks. Good pressure there. Bombers clear it there through Scott. It bounces towards Walbers, gives the handball back. It's going to end up now with Keller. Keller long inside 50. There's going to be a big packet flying there. Knocking it down was Brennan for Southport. Follows up his own work, gets it towards the boundary line. Clark tries to kick it off the deck. Bombers should be able to clear or get it over the line through for a behind. So Southport hitting the front by that solitary behind. 14 plays 13. Ball's back in play already, Kanga. They're moving it quickly. Again, good forward pressure from Southport. Keeps the ball locked in under a pack. Umpires letting it run. Still in dispute. Players bashing into each other now. Here comes an errant kick for Goldsmith. Is that 15? Not 15. Umpire calls it correctly. So Bombers can repel. But it's cut off there by Grayson, who lobs a long bomb from 55 off a couple of steps. How is that from Todd Grayson here at Fankhauser?
But just a really poor defensive mistake from Salter there. He just kicked it straight back into the corridor. If he was going to try and get the ball clear, it had to come towards the boundary line, even if it gave away the deliberate. Just bring it back into the centre where Southport had set up. Just an easy goal, straight back over his head. Really good finish from Grayson.
And what about Todd Grayson? He's been in fantastic form. He had 37 possessions off half-back last week. He even bobbed up forward there like he did today. But he was Southport's best for mine last week against Aspley by head and shoulders, and carrying that good form forward into this afternoon here at Fankhauser Reserve.
Certainly, Kangaroo. We just see Josh Baxter, who's been out for the last 4 or so weeks with a quad injury, come back on for his first run.
So back in the middle here. No real clear winner from this stoppage, and the umpire will say that is holding the ball. You dragged it in, and it'll be Southport who can get the clearance from this. It'll go against Blake Brewer. So the captain in Burge is now asked to go. Goes short. A good leap there by Wells. Gives it off to a teammate there in Grayson. The goal kicker off to big Willie Walbers. Just a chain of handballs linking it up. And ends up with Shreve, who's got to go backwards by foot to Burge. And Burge can go off towards the 100-gamer. Merritt, who's under pressure. Damien Stephen. He's just drawing the player there, trying to get it off to Cleve Hughes. And a poor defensive error in the middle of the ground there, and Hughes has it and can give it short to Salter. He goes quickly, can shoot it. Goal. Question of accuracy. There's no question at all because it's there. So defensive errors playing a part in scoring opportunities.
Well, Salter had to make up for the goal he gave away at the other end, and he did it pretty much in no time at all. He came back a minute later and banged through from a similar position that he gave up the last goal from. So really good comeback from him.
A lot of pressure on the ball carrier and causing those turnovers, and as we can see, Kanga, they absolutely kill you. You turn it over and give some class players a chance to nail you, they will. So there he was, Tom Salter, the co-captain of the Redland Bombers, dragging them to within a point here at Fankhauser. Late in the first term, we've got Southport leading 3-2-20 to Redland 3-1-19. Umpire's going to start it in the middle. You'll have Malone versus Walbers in the ruck. Walbers basically uncontested. Now it's Mills who picks it up. Could have been a push in the back there. Umpire says so. Southport with a free kick. That's little Haslam. Haslam now across to Keller. Keller looking to the wing. Good, well-weighted kick. Finds Will Walbers. He wants to play on. Has a teammate basically heading past him towards the interchange gates. He decides to go in the middle to time now. He's off to the races. Gets his skates on and kicks it on the left foot to, well, it was a pack. There was 2 Bombers went up and all the Sharks stayed down. Here's Clark with a chipping ball, and that is a goal that could have been prevented. The Southport Sharks answering nicely. Adam Clark with his first of the day.
Well, you said it there, Pricey. Yet another defensive error leads to a goal. Just all the Redland Bombers flew. No one killed the contest. It got over the back. Numbers on the ground, and Clark with a really nice finish there on the right foot.
So they had 2 men on the ground out the back there. There was Cornish and Clark, and it was Cornish that collected it, gave it to Clark, and thank you, Mother, for the rabbits, as one Hunt might have said once upon a time.
So the big ruckman for the Bombers just went up in that contest. Really didn't need to be involved. It was only, I think, Ed Mellon who actually flew for them with the big fellas hiding at the back.
Big Willie Walbers and Big Malone will give that one to the ladder. Off to Mills, playing in the midfield today. Off to Haslam. Was a part of that forward thrust earlier. Looked for his captain in Burge. Not quite the biggest target out there. Now Pfeiffer off to Brewer. Caught there by Haslam, but good enough to get the handball away to do a Salter up towards Hughes. Hughes regathers and hits the post, I think. Just nicks the post, but it was a terrific effort by Cleve Hughes.
And it was really well done by Pfeiffer there at halfback. Got the spoil, followed up and got the next possession. He's started the game superbly for Redland.
So Southport bring it out from defence as Pope takes it across the back line there to Burge. Burge loops a handball over the top. We've got a runner in the middle now in Headland. The ball bounces in front of him. Now he's confronted. Bombers presenting nicely. Pfeiffer there fighting hard. Could have copped one high from Burton. Nothing doing. It's trapped underneath and we'll have a ball up. on the outer wing in front of the Doug Hannell Memorial scoreboard here, near full TV, and you've got a 6-point lead to the Southport Sharks. First term, slap down now. Mills puts himself in for Southport, tries to get it forward. Now the Bombers could get it out. Brewer looping a handball over the top. Rees fighting for it for them. It's taken away by Southport now, and it looks like Fraser Pope has it for the Sharks.
So Pope was quiet last week when they needed him. Got it going late. Where it goes over the top this one, so Redland should mop it up. And I was going to say they do, but Jones is under pressure. He misses his target, and Josh Smith, which allows Keller to come through. Kick one short and find the key forward there in Baxter. So welcome back, Baxter.
Well, they got away with the first missed handball, but you're not going to get away with the second. Just 2 sloppy errors in defence and turned over. Baxter now with his first shot at goal for Southport, looking to extend their lead.
Just interesting, I might ask you to have a look after this kick, Liam Wade Mills and his stats, because he's playing through the midfield and has had a bit of influence over the game thus far.
Certainly can get 7 disposals and 3 clearances for him so far.
So Baxter comes in, makes no mistake, he celebrated early because he knew, because it went over the umpire's hat. So a bit of a buffer for the Sharks, and they kick away to a couple of goal lead. So warning signs here for the Redland Bombers, and we are coming towards the closing stages of the first quarter.
Once again, turnovers kill you, Kanga. That's how it works, especially close to goal, inside your own 50. That is the killer. The Southport have taken full advantage at 3 times that I can count so far this first term.
Well, probably the other factor that we need to account for is the Southport pressure. And on that occasion, there was just that little bit of pressure that forced a bit of a turnover. So we'll give a little bit of credit where credit's due on that occasion.
Good call, Kanga, as the umpire will bring it down in the middle. It's Walbers versus Hunter. We'll call it a draw. Hunter delivers the ball, though, for the Bombers, kicks it towards right half forward. It's going to bounce possibly for Phil Cuss. He gets there first regardless. He hits the deck, rolled over the boundary line by his Southport opponent, and it will be a throw-in at right half forward, about 70 metres from goal. Southport Sharks leading by a couple of goals. It's a magnificent day here in Southport. Not a lot of wind, not a cloud in the sky as Hunter double hands it down towards Passfield. Passfield inside 50. Good defensive mark. Well read there by Keller, who sees a man and finds him. The Southport are away.
And they are away, so taking 2 bounces there is Shreve. Mills comes to provide the block. Going off towards Goldsmith. It's in his path in front of Scott. And just beats him over the line, though. Game of inches, because the kick was right. Just didn't quite hit the target, and they would have been shooting for another.
Moving with purpose. Now it looks like
dislocated finger.
Daniel Zoof has just come off the bench, and yeah, it looks like a dislocated finger right in front of us there, Kanga, so we'll keep an eye on that for you while you call it.
Baxter, he had his kick smothered, and now Howard brings it away, goes off to Brewer. Good leap in front of young Weller.
Well, judging by the yell from Daniel Zoofer, that finger was placed back where it needed to be.
So Grayson just gets on the end of that kick. He's got a man in the middle of the ground. Goldsmith, he finds him now. Right at centre half forward. Goes laterally. Finds his teammate in Thine, who keeps racking them up. Goes over the top to Cornish. Can't quite hit the target. Carr's in pursuit. Cornish just pushes Carr's off. He can shoot for goal. And across the face. Looked promising.
Quite a nonchalant fend off there from Cornish, wasn't it?
He's got a little bit of mongrel in him, Cornish. I don't mind him as a player. As we see Howard bring the ball back in for Redlands.
Okay, Bombers with numbers here. A lot down the outer side. Cast now just chips it over the big fella in Hunter. Again, not a lot of quick movement there as the ball's taken by Damien Stephen. Stephen now goes back inside defensive 50. They want to switch it. Out here is young Ben Keys. He will receive it after Pfeiffer does. Pfeiffer wearing the 1 glove. He's got a lead from Brewer there. Good spoil, powerful spoil, but the Bombers have the numbers as it hits the deck. Brewer might get it back now. Here it is with Howard. Has a bounce. just carves his way through a couple of Southport players. Nice bit of play there from Howard. Good defensive spoil from Keller. Now it's on the deck and in dispute. Bombers there through Passfield, gets the handball away. Again, Keller fighting for it gamely on the ground. Wins the ball back for Southport. They turn it over. Oh, Grayson Coathanger's Cass, who ran in, collected the ball. Just a reflex action. Takes him around the neck and a free kick to Phil Cass, probably 15 metres out on a slight angle.
Well, it all started back here with Howard. There were a number of short handballs. It just needed someone to take on the game. He ran straight through, beat the tackler, took a couple of bounces and delivered inside 50. Redland, with Phil Cass, now have a chance to bring it back to 7 points.
As Phil Cass, sorry, he's got the one goal. Comes in, 15 metres out, slight angle. Starts at left, but no work for the goal umpire at all. That's Cass's second, and Redland come a little bit closer just as the quarter-time siren sounds, and that should leave it at a 7-point ball game. Southport 5-3-33 with Redland 4-2-26. How did you see that first one, Kanga?
Well, ebb and flow, really, wasn't it? I mean, Redland got away. It looked like they had a fair bit of run on their legs, and then Southport just got numbers behind the ball. And then when the turnover came and they could apply the pressure, Southport, they really pushed forward hard and found some targets. And young Thine in particular was terrific the way he pushed in and created a lot of opportunities for his side. And Southport have the ascendancy at this point in time.
Agreed.
Well, as you mentioned, yeah, Tyne's been terrific. He's had up to the 8 disposals now. Also, he's captain Burge on 8 as well. I think Weller's had his best game at NEFL level. 7 disposals, best quarter. We can't say game quite yet.
So far, yep.
Certainly 7 disposals. Mills, is, as you mentioned, really good move into the middle. 7 disposals and those 3 clearances. And for Redland, Pfeiffer with 11's been terrific. Also his best quarter so far of the year, along with Phil Cass, who's had 9 and kicked the goal to close out the quarter. Well, and young Ben Keys as well with 8.
Yeah, I was going to say, the young fella coming in for the Bombers, number 28, Ben Keys, has had a ripping first term. So it is, as we expected, the 5th versus 6th, and a cracking game here of NEFL football, round 16, Southport versus Redland. It's the Sharks with a 7-point margin. We'll be back with the second term shortly here on NEFL TV. Welcome back to Neefle TV. It's round 16 live from Fankhauser Reserve. Southport versus Redland. Michael Price and Mark Kennedy calling your action with Liam Dettering, his special comments. And Southport leading by 7 points at quarter time. Here's Mark Kennedy.
So Brennan for Southport gets it down. Cornish just disposes of it there. Rees picks it up, was under pressure. Brewer just tries to pump it forward. Now Burge, he gets a left foot. Just eludes Goldsmith, his target. Smith is slung to the ground. Rees now gets it off to Pfeiffer, and Pfeiffer kicks a bullet. Passfield couldn't take it, and now Headland will mop up. Back to Stewart, back to Grayson, to Headland, 100-gamer. And he'll go back and find a teammate here in Burton.
So Burton wants to go across goal as well. Finds his teammate in Jake Keller. Keller down the line has Fraser Pope at half-back. He's got a little bit of room now. Chips it in board. It's a nice pass and it's a good mark there taken by Lockie Weller. Weller in board into the middle of the ground. It's cut off nicely there by Rees for the Bombers. Puts the ball in dispute. Burton puts himself in nicely after a good bump from Salter. Burton still has the ball and is held to him. There will be a ball up just outside the centre square, favouring the Redland Bombers end of the ground. They trail by 7 points here early in the second term. Southport clearing the ball with Wade Mills. Interesting, he's running in the midfield, the bigger body for the Southport Sharks. It was Salter who got rid of Tyne and then speared a pass and found his teammate there in Zufa, who had his, which finger was it, dislocated and put back in. It was the pinky. He let out a nice yell as that was done a little early on in the game. But Daniel Zufa, he's had a shot at goal today. He kicked a couple against Eastlake last week. He'll let go from 55, nearly 60. That's a good-looking conveyance. It hits the goal square. Just not reading it there. The Southport ruckman, ball over the back. Boy, oh boy. Just got a fingertip to it, and it's behind. So Bombers move a point closer.
Well, it would have been quite embarrassing if that had gone over the back without being touched and he conceded a goal just for misreading it in flight.
So Hill goes up and had a bit of air in that conveyance, but still managed to find his teammate in Grayson. Terrific form the last month. Goes up towards the big target in Brennan. Malone pushes back, almost takes a mark there. Here's Josh Smith, gives it off to Lovett. Lovett, inside forward 50, looked like he overcooked it, and he did. And Southport will mop up here, and it'll be Big Hill. Hill has a target. He absolutely, I can't even say what he did to that one because it was horrible, but it comes off anyway, and Big Brennan just gets wrapped up. He thought he had time, but he didn't, and it was Ben Keys who took it away, and it will be off now and find Scott, although under pressure they go. A turnover again. Clark, a comedy of errors. Can Clark do something with the ball? He goes up towards Goldsmith. Goldsmith is there with Andrew Smith, and he gives the free kick away for too high, and Goldsmith will be able to go back and have a shot for goal.
Yet another shocking handball though, Redlands through the middle of the ground. That's a number of times today they've just butchered the ball and given it away in a position that's just seen them come under a lot of trouble today. Goldsmith with the free kick now for over the shoulder to go back and give Southport back that 2-goal buffer.
So Goldsmith, barring last week, been in good form in front of goals. Comes in, he'll kick from 45, starts it right. We've got a good view of it on Neefle TV. And Hunter it is, who just puts it over the line. And the solitary behind it is for the Sharks. Howard brings it back in to Stephen, to Josh Smith, and they are out of defence.
Well, Zufa should collect here for the Bombers. He wants to move it on quickly. He's confronted, but gets his left foot towards right half forward. Wants to find the teammate there in Thompson. Ball's run over the line by Burton Thompson, appealing for the deliberate free kick, nothing doing, and there'll be a throw in about 60 metres from the Redland Bombers goal. Trailing by 7 points, the same as it was at quarter time, just a behind from each side here. Now, umpire from a little while off has pulled a free kick here. It will go to the Bombers. Looks like Phil Cass was taken off the ball. So a free kick. Now Cass, that's a wobbly looking kick. It's collected beautifully by Howard, who takes the game on. Gives it to Brewer. Brewer lets go from 50. Tackled by Goldsmith as he kicks. and kicks it out of bounds on the full. So it'll be a Southport free kick, left back pocket, and a chipping ball comes in. It'll land with the captain in Jason Burge.
So Burge deep in defence. Just goes short and wide. Off to Stewart. Stewart can go up the line, finds Headland. He can go over the top and find Weller. So good run there from the Southport defence. We've got a player in Thine. Just chipping in there was Howard to apply the pressure. They come away with it again. Burge followed it up. Finds Clark, or doesn't find Clark, but he's still got the run of it. Just tries to work it through, almost a throw for mine. Mills playing in the midfield today. Well wrapped up there by Salter. Plenty of players converge on the ball. And we'll have a ball up. Half forward for Southport, out of side.
And that move into the middle for Mills has been a really good one, obviously, with Collison out of the side. They needed another contested ball winner in there, and he's had a really good start to the game.
So Cast gets the clearance for Redland, kicks it onto the outer wing, and the ball's taken by Zuffa. Zuffa looking for runners inboard. He's a long kick as well, is Daniel Zuffa, and that's no exception. The left foot, and there's a big leap by Passfield. Well roved there by the Southport defence. Burton misses the handball intended for him. Headland dives in, ball stuck under he and his Redland opponent, and there'll be a ball up, 45 metres out.
And guys, we've just got some quick score updates. In the huge game in the context of the season between the Hills Eagles and Ainsley, it's all locked up at 39 apiece at half-time. Really important game for Ainsley. And Belconnen well in front of Eastlake at three-quarter time.
So plenty of players around this contest again, and we'll have another stoppage. Interesting, boys. Phil Carr's just came off for a rest, and Cornish came off with him, so the hard tags being applied there to curtail the influence of co-captain Phil Carr's for Redland. As we see, Grayson has his kick smothered. The ball beats everybody over the line. It was very good work there, I think, by Damien Stephen to apply the pressure and keep the ball in Redland's forward half. Ball in again. Give that one to Hunter. Here's Geary. Just pushes it out of defence, but only into the hands of Howard. Coming to the game nicely. And Howard, right on 50. Just puts it to the top of the square. Deliberate action, looking for a target. Wolbers off to Headland. Chain of handballs to Mellon. Ends up back with Mellon. The kick wasn't a good one. We're going to a 2-on-1. And now it's Josh Smith. Gets it over the top to Howard. Howard can use his leg speed. Has forced to go on his left though. Big Wolbers is underneath it. Doesn't judge it well though. Plenty of players now. The pressure arrives. Zuffa's in there. So's Stewart. Here's Headland. Godfrey in there working hard though. Looked like he gave a free kick away at Haslam there. And he did. So Southport will repel. The defence held firm.
So Haslam has the ball in his own defensive 50, chips it to centre forward and finds Fraser Pope. Now Pope. Sharks leading by 7 points. Goes to right half back, the lead of Ed Mellon. Juggling effort there. Punched away by Howard. Overcooked the handball there and Godfrey missed it, but the Bombers still have it. Inside 50 now, in the direction of Hughes versus Hill. Hill actually, well, the free kick was a couple of hands in the back from Hill. And Cleve Hughes takes the free kick 20 metres out directly in front.
Well, the last ball that was directed in before the free kick being paid there also looked like Cleve Hughes copped a massive shove in the back, so obviously he made the umpire aware of that. He was right on it the second time, and Hughes has got the free kick 25 metres out right in front.
So 6 goals last week against Eastlake. Cleve Hughes, very, very good kick at goal. Just leans back and bangs that one through for his first of the day. And brings the Bombers to within a point. 5-4 plays 4-4 here at Fankhauser Reserve.
Well, they just made it the last 5 minutes really difficult for Southport coming out of defence. They've been kicking to nothing a lot of the time. They've set up really well defensively and they got just rewards there. 5-4-34 plays 5-3-33.
So pretty familiar surroundings there for Cleve Hughes, the ex-Southport goal-kicking machine. So I think he would have had a few practice shots over the journey and in games from that spot, so no mistake made. And in good form, although he is a bit of a dead-eyed dick generally. And he kicked 6 goals 5 last week, which is a bit unusual for the way Cleve Hughes goes about it. But a good start. He's got the 1-1 so far today.
Certainly the whole side was quite inaccurate last week for Redland. I think they kicked 17 goals, 22 for the game, so it'll be good to see them kick a bit more accurately today, certainly to keep them right in this contest.
Just be interested to know what the clearances are. Liam, have we got that stat there? Because obviously that was one area that Southport really needed to improve on from last week.
Redland just edging it at the moment, but it's negligible. It's 12-10 at the moment.
So, and some of that can be put down to the influence of Wade Mills, just that bigger body in the absence of Mark Collison, I think it is. He was out of there.
So, ball in the middle again. Will be called back by the umpire, an errant bounce. So we'll do it again, he'll throw it up, and that's Hunter versus Brennan in the ruck. Give that one to Brennan over the top. It's taken by Ed Mellon. He's immediately claimed by Hunter, the big ruckman, and his opponent in Sam Godfrey, and we'll do it all again. Just outside the centre circles. Call that one a draw. Mellon again, throwing himself in hard. He tries to dispose of the ball, took them on. Umpire adjudicates that he held on to the ball too long. Good tackle there, rewarded by Damien Stephen. Now Stephen has some leads. Kicks it towards half forward. It's basically on top of the head of Ubergang. Did him no favours. Southport Sharks will get it away. Haslam has it at half back, and plenty of options up forward.
Doesn't know where to go. Now he does. He goes short, finds Baxter. Kicked a goal in the first. Well, welcome back. The kick wasn't the best though. Josh Smith gives it off to Jones. Goes short and finds Damien Stephen. Can go quickly and he does. Finds Brewer. The one bounce goes over the top now. Landry off to Salter. Salter tries to find a target but only finds Tyler Cornish. He finds him in half back. Goes backwards to Grayson. Generally good by foot. This kick wasn't his best, and interjecting there wonderfully was Damien Stephen, and he'll take the kick and give it off to Passfield, still at half back.
A real arm wrestle at the moment, going from half back line to half back line as Phil Lovett takes it for the Bombers. Handball over the top to Smith. Smith back to Lovett, under pressure now to Pfeiffer. Calm under pressure, he looks to measure a pass. That's a very good kick to Zuffa, who tried it with the one hand, couldn't quite control it. The big fellow in Brennan got it to Burton, now to Wells. Wells wants to steady the ship, go across half-back, he does, and finds Pope for the Sharks. He's called to play on, he does so, finds a teammate. Is that Tyne at right half-back? Kicks it long down the line. Oh, couldn't find the teammate there in Weller. Now it's on the deck with a couple of players on top of it. Phil Cass, one of them for the Bombers. And we'll have a ball up between half-back and the wing for Southport.
Just making you a bit nervous coming out. A couple of these kicks out of defence from both sides. Ball up again. Damien Stephen was the third man up. Cars lays a good tackle. And we'll have another ball up. Not too far from where the last was.
Love to see those tackling stats too, Liam. They're both sides really laying into the ball carrier.
Brennan uncontested. Cornish just pushed it forward. Ball out of bounds. Over the line in front of the scoreboard where we see Southport by the solitary behind.
And Pricey, those tackling stats, Redland 24 to Redland 15, seems to have a clear edge at the moment, but there's been a good deal of pressure from both sides.
So we'll give that one to Malone for Redland. Big fella, you won't miss him out there. Cars is in there again. Just working, bustling the ball forward. Ends up with Damien Stephen. Now to Zuffa, who gets on his trusty left. Goes to a good spot. The bounce eludes Cleve Hughes. Leading the race there is Ubergang. Has support there in Thompson. Can go around looking for a short pass. And intercepted there by Burton. Burton goes short and finds Weller, and they're away again.
So Southport again across the half-back line, intercepting at will against the Bombers when they enter 50. With Burge now, he's got a lead from Wade Mills in the uncustomary role of midfielder, but he's doing a bang-up job as we speak, down the outer side. Long kick. Now this is looking for Baxter. He's got a couple of opponents there. Redland with the numbers when the ball hits the deck. Shrugging the tackle off was Landry, getting the handball away to the teammate there. Now it's with Stephen. Stephen long down the line. That's a good mark under a lot of pressure there by Zuffa. Has really lifted his rating in the second term as well. Howard now. Back to Stephen. He loops a handball back over to Landry. Now that was looking for Passfield, but again that was well read by the Southport defence, and Shreve takes the intercept mark.
Shreve overcooks a kick, but good enough there. Oh, I was going to say Hill. Just couldn't quite hold to it. Here's Hughes, evades a tackle, little Gaelic, Irish, little dink forward. And now Smith goes over the top, finds Cars for goal, and started it left and it stayed there. So wasted opportunity and another turnover in defence from one of the sides, on this occasion Southport, resulting in a shot and goal for Redland.
Both sides butchering the ball. Redland there with the last kick again, found a Southport player, but the turnover from Southport gave it straight back. It was a great little kick inside from Josh Smith. And you have to question whether Phil Cast really had to play on there.
Southport bringing the ball back in. Game is tied towards the big ruckman in Malone and Brennan. It's punched over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in about 70 metres from the Redland Bombers' goal. Bit of that fluky wind just springing up here at Fankhauser Reserve early in the second term. The throw in, give that one to Brennan as it hits the deck. Looking for Rees, overruns it. It was Keys, got rid of it. Southport now with the ball through Haslam, looking for his runner. He hears the voice and he hears one in the corridor. Great pass and a good strong set of hands from Shreve. He now wheels onto his right foot. He sees a runner in Mills and Brewer at the back. Mills is going to read this nicely. It bounces beautifully for him. Can he finish it off? No. The defender in him just couldn't help it. He just dribbled it through and one behind. So Southport back in front by that point.
Well, we do know Mills can actually go forward because in his time at the Lions he was a utility who played at both ends of the ground, but obviously the years he spent at Southport in defence haven't held him in good stead there.
It was just good pressure there, that last hand by Josh Smith as well. Just put enough on Wade Mills to see it go across from behind. So Jones goes short, has Cars. And try and settle it down. Back inboard to Salter, under no pressure. They've just flooded back in numbers, and in turn, Redland have just lined up across half back. And from Pfeiffer, it goes to Scott. Scott, there's a man in the middle there. It's Rees. Rees goes off, running hard there. Was Jones. Here to Josh Smith. He'll have to go on the left. And errant kick, and it should see its way, and it does, over the boundary line, just beside Redland's goal, clubhouse side.
Smith just caught in two minds there. Probably should have taken the first option and accelerated through and had a shot on goal there, because in the end, pretty poor kick and not a great result for Redland.
Southport leading by a point. Redland pressing as the boundary line throw-in comes in. Rees overruns the ball. Pope picks it up. Gets a handball in close quarters, and it ends up now with Burge. Burge belted as he gets rid of it. Pope puts himself back in. He overruns it. Now Mellon tackled nicely. Ball stuck underneath. Umpire correctly says he had no prior opportunity. 45 metres out from the Southport goal. We'll ball it up and we'll do it all again.
So scores, I was going to say scores tied, but they're not. It's a point to Southport. Yuba Gang was up in the ruck, now out with Pope. Ball ends up with Mellon. Out last week with a hand injury. Just not the best kick. Finds Cornish though. Cornish can get a handball away. He's under pressure. His teammate Weller, but does well. Now Thine, who hasn't been sorted, has seen too much in the second quarter. Back to Thine, and now off to Geary. So right in front of us here in the Neefle TV, commentary position. Kick wasn't a good one. Looking for Thine once again, but Howard just puts the Molly Juka out there, and it goes over the boundary line.
So we'll get the throw in. Good tussle there from the big ruckman. Over the top of both of them though. It's going to go through the hands of Burge. Burge gives off the handball to Keller, but gets it back, does Burge. Shreve in front. Good spoiling effort there by Salter. Salter backing up his good work, picks it up. Grayson tackles him into the ground. Great contest. Umpire will ball it up in the middle of the ground. Salter and Shreve there. Right into each other. It's been a very tight game here at Fankhauser Reserve. We're at second term. The Sharks leading by a point. Bombers now through Brewer. Kicks it to centre half forward. Good contest, good set of hands from Daniel Zufar. Now he could be within distance here. Kanga's got a prodigious foot.
He does. He does. He's been very busy today, and on the lead, particularly the hit-up lead, he's been terrific.
Here he comes. Let's go from just outside the centre square. Gives it every chance. Big fly there. Good bit of spoiling there. Yubagang it was, who just took off, sat on the shoulders of the Southport pack, but it was punched over the line, and we'll have a throw in the right forward pocket.
Very exciting to see that from the young 18-year-old Yubagang. It's always good to see the young guys come through and just give that bit of enthusiasm.
Backing themselves, Walbers gets his own ball down from the ruck contest up towards Goldsmith. Just wins it off ground, cleverly to Clark, off to Burge, trying to evade a couple, gets it off to Goldsmith, and they work it forward nicely, ends up with Geary. And now they flood forward in numbers, the Sharks. Have they got the run? Leading the chase here is Shreve. He's pursued there by two, gets around one. Salter wraps him up though. Just manages to get a foot to the ball. Passfield trying to wrap it up. Off to Pfeiffer and off to Stephen, the man with two first names. And the kick wasn't a good one. And right in front of us here, just bounces in front of the white line, and we'll have a throw in.
And just Haslam going forward there for Southport. Not a great kick. All it had to be was a semi-decent kick out in front of him, but just dribbled off to the side. Didn't really give him much chance there.
Hunter versus Brennan. Hunter in the back spot probably got the effective tap down. It's picked up there by Haslam. He's claimed by Cass. Good exchange there, and we'll have a ball up just right in front of the NIFL TV commentary position. Southport leading by a point here at Fankhauser Reserve.
Both sides now deploying the loose man in defence. We see Headland down back for Southport and Luke Scott for Redland.
Landry claimed Cornish there, and again, the tackling from both sides, very, very hard in tight circumstances here. Right on the commentary wing, Hunter slaps it down. Pope, he grabs it, gets claimed. Ball stuck underneath him, and we'll have another ball up. This is an arm wrestle in the second term, Kanga.
So it's a game befitting 5th versus 6th in terms of ladder positions. Plenty on the line here. Saturday afternoon, NIFL TV. It was Mills who came up third man. Down to Pfeiffer, who just manages to keep it inside the boundary line. Under pressure. And right in front of the Southport coach's box. Have a throw in. Both sides will look to back their run in the second half. Looks like we're going to go to the break pretty close. Scoreboard unless we can get a bit of a run. Redland, just get the clearance. Godfrey just sells it nicely. Now goes inside forward 50. No real numbers there for Redland, and it was Headland who won the free kick, and he gets it off to Weller.
So Weller now kicks it long towards Geary. Passfield punches. Clark roving it for the Sharks. Did beautifully. Nice turn of speed and good control of the ball. Gets it back to Tyne. Tyne switches into the corridor. He finds Fraser Pope. Pope with another chipping ball. Just misses his target. It's going to be mopped up here by the Bombers. Coming out through Godfrey. Chain of handballs now. Bombers with numbers in the middle. Reese has the ball in the corridor. He's got a man over the top and a man running past. He decides to hold up. He's got Landry out on the commentary wing and Pfeiffer at right half back. He goes towards Pfeiffer. Now on board a little bit longer towards Landry. Under pressure from Haslam. Good bit of pressure from the little fella. Ball eludes him over the boundary line right in front of the interchange gates. We'll have another throw in.
And Landry really should have kept running there. He just stopped. He had the run. He was out by about 5 metres and just made it easy for Haslam in the end to get across and chop that off.
So right in front of this luxurious establishment here at Fankhauser Reserve, the ball goes back in. Malone just gives it down. Wrapped up quickly there was Mallon by Brewer, and we'll do it all again with the ball up.
Again, we see the terrific tackling pressure from Redlands, up to 34 tackles for the game now. It's been a terrific pressured effort from them.
Malone again using his weight, but ends up with Mallon for Southport. and kicks it up and only as far as Howard. So the turnover comes again and they're away here through the young man in Rees off half back.
So it's Ben Keys has the bounce, handball over the top. Godfrey now wheels back around onto the right foot. He tries to spear a pass and hits his target in Scott. Scott, the handball to Passfield. He's got nobody running at him, has a bounce, kicks it long towards the goal square. Not the option. Beautifully read there by the Southport defence, and Darren Stewart takes the easiest of chest marks. He wants to play on, finds Jason Burge. Burge now to Grayson. Grayson with some space, racking up the stats again. He kicks it towards his teammate. Good bit of spoiling there by the Bombers. It ends up now with Cornish in the middle for Southport. Cornish out wide at a Pope, and he takes the mark and steadies the ship for the Southport Sharks.
They catch their breath, but only momentarily. Goes down the line to Thine. Has a man in the middle. It's Geary. He has it now. Has a man over the top here in Shreve, and he takes the mark 45 metres out. An opportunity to get one late for the Sharks.
And with Scott standing back in the hole, Southport just worked the ball really nicely around the perimeter there. They were able to find two loose men, and Shreve ended up finishing off. He's got a shot on goal now, right on 50 metres.
So Shreve, not a bad week last week with the numbers. At 17 disposals. Kicks for goal, starts at left, coming back a little but not far enough. And 2 points now the margin in favour of Southport. And Howard, it'll be to bring it back in for the Bombers.
He does so. Ends up with Damien Stevens. Stephen now into the pocket. And there's Smith. Smith chips it forward now to Ben Keys. Very productive today. Handball to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer under pressure, tries to get back to Keys. Now he's under pressure. While the Bombers putting themselves under the hammer here as Shreve puts himself back in. Handball now back to Weller. Weller inside the 50, the hot spot. Punched away by the Bomber defence. It's stuck there now. Howard overruns it for the Bombers. Scott, they should be away here. Salter, he puts the extra pace on, has a bounce. Handballs it back, and that's the end of the second term. A fair dinkum arm wrestle. Only one goal scored in that term, and that was for Redland. And we end up with Southport leading by a couple of points.
Well, plenty of players hunched over here. It's just probably epitomises the fact that it has been end-to-end, and both sides feeling a little the pinch here. Beautiful conditions here at Fankhauser Reserve, but both sides lining up across half-back, just trying to cut the other off, and plenty of pressure around the contest in 5v6 on the Neefle ladder. Liam, it's anybody's game here at half-time.
Certainly that second quarter saw both teams' defence come out on top. I think the defensive structures of both teams held up really well. All the stats are really even. Possessions are dead even. Contested balls pretty even. It's just in the tackles, Redland have had a bit more pressure around the contest, but certainly a really even game that we'll probably continue to see in the second half.
Well, we're looking forward to it. We expected a ripper. We've got one here at Fankhauser Reserve. It is the Southport Sharks by 2 points at half-time. We'll be back with the second half very shortly here on Neefle TV. Welcome back to Nearfall TV. This is round 16. Fankhauser Reserve Southport and the Southport Sharks at home to the Redland Bombers. At half-time, Southport holding a slender 2-point lead, 5-6-36, plays 5-4-34. Michael Price and Mark Kennedy calling all of your action with special comments from Nearfall journalist Liam Dettering and Mark Kennedy. It's a fair dinkum arm wrestle that second term. Let's hope we can get some more free-throwing play in the third.
A battle of the half-back lines for mine, but we'll see how the midfield fares and both forward lines as we get play underway. Big Willie Walbers was the man. We got the first hand on it. Shreve comes through hard. Brewer's there with him. Brewer lays the tackle. And the ball just still flipping it around there. It is Walbers, gets it out to Thine. Thine just kicks it to his opposite number in Pfeiffer. And Pfeiffer just butchers one and doesn't find Salter. Howard was there but couldn't take it. Now Southport come away. Burge has it and gives it off to Shreve, who's on forward 50. So frenetic opening. A bit error-ridden again. As we see Shreve, he's going to have to kick at 55 to go the journey. Nowhere near it. And it was touched off the boot. The handball wasn't a good one. Cars gets it off to Salter. Salter just launches it outside defensive 50. Shreve can't take it. Grayson's there, but beaten to it by his Redland opponent. Now wrapped up with Stein by a multitude of Sharks, and we will have a stoppage. Early stages, third quarter, Southport by 2 points.
And we just got a final score in from that all-important clash between Ainsley and Sydney Hills Eagles, a 30-point win to Ainsley, which is really good for them in their search for finals football.
So Ben Keys, who's had a ripping day, the young fella, overruns the ball. Tyne now, handball back to Grayson, back to Tyne. Tyne, Will Walbers now on the end of that handball. Mills back to Tyne, so they're waxing a little. Just holding the ball. That's a spear of a ball towards teammate, but nicely cut off there by Lovett from the Bombers. It's still intercepted, though, by the Sharks. Dribbling it forward. Over the back. Just reading it nicely there with Shreve. Can he pick it up? Can he control it? He does. On hands and knees. A handball to his teammate in Geary. He dances around and kicks it straight up in the air. He might mark his own pill here. It's gone off hands over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in left forward pocket.
Not exactly Neefle's finest just at the minute, based on that passage of play, you'd say, Liam.
Well, I think Geary ended up selling it to himself in the end. He sold it 3 times and in the end just kicked it about 20 metres up in the air and didn't gain much distance.
Ball in, just around Southport's opportunity to take it away. They do. This is Pope. The kick, strangely enough, doesn't hit the target again. Grayson has it. He launched a bomb in the first quarter. Doesn't get the opportunity this time. Shreve gets it back. There, Pope's well wrapped up there by Hunter. Turnover comes. And now they're away to Rees. And Zuffa can take it over with a bit of space.
Zuffa on the left foot. He's got a lead from Hughes. Hits him on the chest. Great kick from Zuffa. So Hughes wheels around. Tries to find his teammate. It was a long lead, well-weighted kick and well taken by Tyler Jones for Redland. Right on the boundary line, you can see the divots where his knees went into the deck. And he'll have a ping from about 45 metres right on the boundary line. Probably let go from just inside the 50. Very difficult kick, not a heck of a lot of wind to speak of. So here he goes, Tyler Jones. Connects well with the right foot. It starts thin, just inside for one behind. So the Bombers edge closer, 5-6-36, plays 5-5-35.
It's a really good passage of play there. It was 2 perfect kicks coming in. Firstly, from Zuffa to find Hughes, and then Hughes to hit Tyler Jones, but always going to be a really tough kick from that pocket.
So it's Geary with the ball. He got it from Headland, the 100-gamer, and now gets it back. Goes to half back, or just forward of half back, more the centre wing out of side, and Clark takes a good contested mark in front of Josh Smith. Goes short, finds Cornish, who in turn finds Pope. Just underneath the scoreboard, saying Southport are in front by a point. Kick wasn't a good one, and it's out of bounds, and we'll have a throw in half forward for Southport.
We haven't seen much to suggest the game's going to change much in this second half across the first 4 minutes. It's been really tight and contested again. Played a lot between the arcs.
So throw in at half forward for Southport over the back. It eludes all players. Tap down there by Haslam. He's tackled by Hunter. Now the ball through Smith. Down the outer side, the mark's taken by the 100 gamer in Ben Redland. Redland chips it forward, finds Pope. Pope sees something short he likes. It's a lead from Clark. Well struck and good set of hands from Clark. He wants to move it on quickly. He's got a lead on. Hunter drops back in the hole, but that's a good strong mark taken by Baxter for the Southport Sharks. Or is that Geary? I'm sorry.
No, it's Baxter there.
It is Baxter. It was right the first time.
Lining up for his second goal of the day. He's been pretty quiet, but he's one who can certainly have an impact for Southport in this second half.
It's like Trivial Pursuit. You've got to go with your first thought, always. So Baxter, good return from him this week. He's already kicked a goal, and he'll have a crack from about 45 metres out. Gets onto it. A little bit of work from the goal umpire, but everybody likes it, and Southport go further in front. His second goal. So we're at 6-6. 42 plays 5-5-35 here at Fankhauser Reserve early in the third term.
And I guess the all-important first goal of this second half to Josh Baxter. He's only had the 4 disposals today, but he's taken 3 marks inside 50 now and kicked 2 goals. So certainly one to look out for in this second half. And the even contest continues.
Certainly does. Baxter, he kicked 4 goals in the corresponding game when these two last met at Casheasy Park, and makes his mark yet again. Does Josh Baxter. First time back for a few weeks after a quad injury. Damien Stephen, the man with 2 first names, gets it to half forward. Keller's there. The intercept for Southport. Haslam helps him along, gives it back to him. They go to half forward now. Back to the goal kickers there. Coming through hard there was Cars, but Baxter, good work rate. Gets the ball off to Pope. Pope can find a target, and he does in Mills. Gives it quickly. He wasn't confident kicking because the man Mellon usually is, but he butchers it.
Wrong option from Mills there. He should have backed himself and gone back and had the set shot. We know he's not the best kicker goal, but surely would have been a better option than Geary on the edge of his tilt there, because he's just kicked it straight into the point post.
So the Bombers take the resultant free kick for out of bounds on the full. Pfeiffer bringing it back in. Kicks it to a pack of players. Mills at the front. Double grab. So Wade Mills, he wants to play on. Gives it back to Weller. Weller inside. Good looking kick, but that's a nicely read defensive mark taken by Luke Scott for the Bombers. He wants to play on. Looks for Pfeiffer in the back pocket. Misdirected kick again. Puts him under pressure, and the ball will be over the boundary line and a throw in. Left forward pocket for the Southport Sharks, putting the Bombers under further pressure, Kanga, that disposal.
Well, they're just they're their own worst enemy at different stages, aren't they? Ball back in now. Goldsmith was in the ruck. Brewer just punches it forward. Just coming over the top there was Passfield. He just wrestled it away there. Keys was wrapped up there. The turnover comes. Geary kicks around the corner. It looks good. But it ain't. It's only one behind.
I agree with you. It looked good.
It did look good. Very helpful and hopeful as Brewer brings it away from defence, Michael Price.
So Brewer. Now, Salter got into the back of his opponent. The ball fell for him beautifully. No, he actually was taken and held. So umpire will bring him back. He was just about to take off with the ball regardless, was Salter.
Thought it was the player's decision now to take the advantage.
Well, that's Liam Dettering with the special comments, Nearfield journalist here on Nearfield TV. Damien Stephen with the ball now for the Bombers. Deliberate in their build-up. Just chipping the ball around, maintaining possession. Cass now, he had a nice lead, but the ball drops short. Stewart now has the ball for the Sharks. Over to Wade Mills, who I'm enjoying Wade Mills' game today, really putting himself in all across the park. And Southport controlling the ball now. They're at left half back. Here's Mallon. Little chipping pass. He finds Brennan, the big fella, on the outer wing. Slow and deliberate from both sides. Still with that halfback to halfback game that we had in the second term. Good strong set of hands there, and playing on now Southport inside forward 50. Geary had the drop. He just read it beautifully. He turned Passfield around and took the mark about 25 metres out.
And it was a much better kick coming inside 50. We've seen them blaze away and just kick to the loose man in defence a number of times today, but it was a really well-weighted kick from Baxter that just let Geary run onto the ball there.
So Cal Geary, 1 goal last week against Aspley. Should be able to knock this one through to extend that Southport lead. They're currently 8 points in front. He leans back with the right foot and these teammates come to him. He loves it and puts the Sharks. Now 14 points in front. 49 plays 35 here at Fankhauser Reserve at Southport.
And we've just seen at the start of this second half, Southport have come out. They've really got on top in the midfield and it's starting to show up forward. They've put the Redland defence under a lot of pressure. And could they have got away to the sort of match-winning lead here early in this second half?
I wouldn't have thought so, Liam. But anyway, it's only early days in terms of this second half for mine. What is going to be interesting with Southport are coming off a 6-day break and Redland having the benefit of the extra day. So they had to work extra hard, Southport, because they had their injuries early last week. So that bit of extra workload, we will see where this game goes and how strong the legs are of the Sharks and, of course, the Bombers. Ball back in the middle. No ruckman really gets a hand on it. Rees does for the Bombers. Landry gets it, tries to bring Rain to half forward. Burge just got it there nicely from Burton. Over the top there. Pfeiffer got a fist on it in front of Mellon. Landry again goes up the line. The kick wasn't probably the best because it just sat on the head of Godfrey and it was Keller that could come across and put the fist into it and into the crowd. So right in front of Neefel TV's commentary box, we'll have a throw in.
And the ruckman will go at it. Big Malone for the Bombers and Brennan for Southport. I'll give that one to Brennan, even though he had the back position. That was Burge who put himself in. Taken high, said the umpire. Will take the free kick for the Southport Sharks.
And he's been terrific today, up to disposal number 23 and now the 5 clearances as well.
Captain's knock from Burge down the line. Presenting there was Goldsmith, punched away from him by Andrew Smith and over the boundary line just forward of the interchange gates, and we'll get a throw in.
More quality ball today for Jason Burge for mine. The way he's, where he's got it and how he's used it has been the difference in his possessions today.
So the throw-in's hit down by Walbers, taken by Cornish. He's immediately claimed, trying to wrestle the ball free, nothing doing. Boy, this is a tight game. The co-captain, Phil Cast for the Redland Bombers, claimed Cornish, and the umpire will throw it up. Malone gets it down through the hands of Mills. It's taken there very high. The free kick will go to Ed Mallon. Time receives the handball now. Grayson to the lead of Goldsmith, but it's overcooked again. Over the top, the Redland Bombers taking the relieving mark, and it's ending up now with Damien Stephen across half back.
Just goes over the top, finds Grewer. These are the easy possessions for both sides. It's this one that's counting. Going up towards Ubergang, but just backing back wonderfully there was Keller. He was good in defence last week. He's up in their best for mine last week, and he's had a big job to do again today and doing it with aplomb. The kick wasn't a good one on this occasion, and just finds its way out of bounds. We'll have a throw in. Just in front of the Southport coach's box. We'll be urging their charges on.
And just going back to Keller, he's been terrific all season. He's been an excellent recruit for them. He's really freed up the likes of Ben Headland and Todd Grayson to do their thing across half-back.
So Walbers just goes with the backhand. Pope, well wrapped up by Landry. It was a strong tackle and will go again, says the umpire.
That was a strong tackle from Ben Landry there. Very good second game back from injury last week against Eastlake and following up again today. Will Walbers in the ruck, free kick will go to him, I think. How am I reading this? Second umpire comes in. It's actually going to go against Walbers. And the Redland Bombers will take this through Andrew Smith. Smith gets the handball away now to Howard, puts the skates on, handball back inside to Pfeiffer. Back to Smith, under pressure, belted by Mallon, but in the back, said the umpire. Southport were away too. So Phil Lovett taking it for the Bombers. Nice pass to the lead there. of Damien Stephen. Stephen inboard, dangerous kick to Pfeiffer, spoiled by Goldsmith, but Howard rows it for the Bombers. Wobbly one inside 50, diving, and not being able to receive it there was Ubergang. Ball over the back, Ben Headland, the 100 gamer. It's a dangerous kick, but Tyne's got it under control for the Sharks.
Just in front of Jones, who is closing quickly. And Thine got it to Pope. Looks inboard. Dangerous kick. Hughes is coming. So we had a contested ball there, but Headland good enough to mop up. Comes right to us here in the commentary position. Walbers backs back. Just gets a hand on it, and we'll have a throw in right in front of us here. Neefle TV, thanks for joining us. Saturday afternoon football here at Fankhauser Reserve. And it is 5th versus 6th. So crucial game in the overall standings of this Neefle competition.
The throw in now, Walbers versus Smith. Walbers from the back position slaps it forward. Now he puts some pressure on his opponent in Godfrey. It comes out to Rees for the Bombers. Kicks it forward. It eludes Thompson. Oh, hitting it beautifully was Cast though. Read it nicely. Curls one back inboard. He got hit after he disposed of the ball. Umpire says it'll be downfield and the free kick will be relayed. And it goes to Sam Godfrey. If he has a ping, it'll be from right on 50. He has a lead. He's looking for some open spaces. He's urging some kind of movement forward. Hughes comes forward but then has to double back because the ball's coming to the goal square. Hughes actually got tangled up for the Bombers with the Southport defence and hit the deck, so the Sharks clear it. Ben Headland takes a double grabber. Not paid. Play on. Tyne under pressure. Handball away to Burge, and he's away with a bounce.
And off to the races he goes. The kick wasn't the best, but made look good by Geary. Scott was there. Now he sells the dummy, does Geary. Goes over the top and finds Mills. So they're building here, the Sharks. He wheels around Mills. Prays for rain. He goes high. The Goldsmith looked like his jumper was held. Just working through is the Enigma Mellon. Has he got it? Oh, no. Hit the post. And a let off again for the Redland Sharks as they bring it back in quickly, although the turnover nearly came. Here's Landry. He sweeps on it. He's tackled well, though. Wasn't held. Passfield comes away with it. Off to Rees. Rees has a few options here. Not sure what to do. Off to Josh Smith. Now goes over the top to Salter. Salter inside forward 50, looking for Big Hunter. Can't quite take it. Well wrapped up there that time and wins the free kick, the Southport player in Stewart.
Stewart, good tackle on the big fella in Hunter, delivers it to Pope. Pope speculating handball to Walbers, puts him under all sorts. Brewer tackles him, ball spilled now. Pope trying to make up for it, injects himself into the situation. The ball is still in dispute inside forward 50 for the Bombers. Burge puts himself in now with Landry. Ball stuck underneath them. The umpire will ball it up 40 metres from the Southport goal, the Redland goal, I'm sorry.
And very interesting decision there from Pope to go over the top to the ruckman, put him under a lot of pressure.
Definitely. Hit down, Cast hits the ball at speed, controls it on the left foot from 45 towards the goal square. How will it bounce? It doesn't get a chance. Through for one behind. So only the second score for Redland, their second behind of the term. It's now a 14-point ball game with Southport bringing the ball back in.
100 gamer Headland over the top to Grayson. He's got a little bit of room to move. Outside defensive 50, looking for the hit-up target and Baxter. He gathers now. Couldn't get on the first bite of the cherry. Clark to Pope. Just comes inside, looking for a target. Mills, who looks like he's gone to half forward in this quarter. Again, goes high. Geary up high. Couldn't quite take it. Howard stands up there in the contest. Working through their Pfeiffer. Looked like he got one high and the umpire agrees. So the Redland defence just holding on. As Pfeiffer comes away. Has Keys. Eludes him, but he should gather. Kicks on the left nicely. And has Jones.
So Tyler Jones back into the corridor. He needs to hit this target. He does with the assistance of the big mitt of Phil Lovett. It gives it back into Cast. Cast to Rees now. He's got some runners held up on the outer side. Now it's with Josh Smith. Kicks it towards Hughes. Just a little bit on it, and it is adjudged that Southport opponent got into the back of Cleve Hughes. Umpire gives him the free kick. Now it's Big Hill that's arguing the point with the umpire as we speak, but Cleve Hughes has kicked one so far. He'll go for his second from about 40 metres out on a slight angle.
And Ken, you mentioned the job that Cornish was doing on Cast. He's done a terrific job so far, but it just looked like Cast got in there. He got away from him about 15 metres in the clear, and he was the one who really got them going through the centre there.
So Cleve Hughes, Bombers desperately after this goal. He'll come in. Tough angle, pushes it across, hits the post on the far side. So one behind, back to a 13-point ball game. 50 plays 37 here, third term on NEFL TV.
Headland brings it in, has Clark, made him work for it. Had Burton short, elects to go somewhere different. And finds Headland once again. He's got Pope, 30 metres from his own goal, or from the Redlands goal I should say. Has Keller out wide, so they've traversed. The kick wasn't a good one. Again, pressure mounts, but good enough to get it to Berge. He's got a little bit of time and space. Ball goes over the top. The kicking hasn't been a feature today. Pfeiffer just tried to bat it off to his teammate there, but only found a Southport player. Mellon gives it off to Gary. Gary's got a chance and roams into goal and doesn't make a mistake. That's his second. And Southport, they're away.
And that was terrific from Callan Gary. He was the one who initially led up and had the kick go over his head, but he followed up really well there. Got on the end of it and kicked a really nice goal, his second of the day.
The one that, for me though, was Pfeiffer, batted it over the back, a speculator, and to a contested situation, Southport swooped. Mellon it was that I think gave it to Gary, and it was all over from there. So Pfeiffer might have been better to take the ball in the contest and try and feed it off from there instead of going for a more speculative option.
Play the percentages in defence, Kanga. Some of the turnovers absolutely killing both sides here. As Southport consolidate with 19 points to lead now, 8-8-56, plays 5-7-37. We played about 22 minutes of the third term here at Fankhauser Reserve. Umpire's going to ball it up, and we will have Brennan up against Hunter. Brennan now. Ball spills in the path of Wade Mills, and that's why he's in the middle today. He's just collected several bodies on the way through. The ball spills wide though. Hunter for the Bombers under pressure. Tries to handball it through to Thompson. Oh, it's taken without. It could have been Rees. Umpire says no. Shreve. Too much on the handball. It's taken by Cast. What a great smother there from Keller as Cornish comes away with the ball. Gives the handball to Grace, and he's held up there by the defensive effort of Pfeiffer. Weller kicks it long. Goldsmith at the back. Couldn't hold the mark. Howard dancing. Beautiful weaving run through the middle. Gives it to Pfeiffer in the centre of the ground. Kicks it inside 50. Kick falls short. Good defensive work there from Cornish. Southport defensively doing well. Headland kicks it, and they are away.
Shreve by himself there. Had to dive to take it. Goes inboard and finds Thine. Goes inboard again. Has a target there in Weller, the young man doing well in his senior debut year. Off to Grayson, he does well most weeks. Good kick into Goldsmith, and they'll shoot for goal again. So good build-up by Southport.
And just going back to where it all started, Jake Keller, he hasn't had the big disposal today. He's only had the 12, but just in that passage of play, we see why he's so valuable to the side. Firstly, the smother from a few phases ago, and then just chopped it off and won the free kick with a great defensive, not marking the end because it was a touch, but certainly a great rebound from him off half-back there.
So Goldsmith, he'll shoot from a tight angle. Kicks from 40, just to the near side. Redland breathe a sigh of relief, and they will bring it in again, and it will be Howard who has it in the back pocket.
So Howard for the Redland Bombers, trailing now by 20 points late in the third term. Brings the ball inboard and receives it back, taking the game on. He chips it forward and finds Tyler Jones. Jones wants to play on, called to do so. Puts himself under pressure from Shreve. Long at the back, Daniel Zufa reads it nicely. It was a well-weighted kick too. Hunter, the big man, is running down the corridor for him. He's looking for Hughes though, looking for the movement of Cleve Hughes. He puts the lead on, but how about the kick from Zufa? Put it on a dime for Hughes, who plays on across half forward. He sees Rees. Rees dropped what he should have taken. Under pressure, Howard back to Rees. Southport defence working overtime. Time. He's tackled by Rees. The ball hits the deck. Wells in there. Umpire balls it up very shortly, and wow, Cleve Hughes taking that and putting it across half forward. You would expect Brad Rees would take in that mark. They'd be shooting for goal now, the Bombers.
I think the sun might have got in his eyes. There's plenty of players around this contest. Bursting out was Burton. The kick was stymied there, and it was Pfeiffer that comes away. Howard made to work. He overruns it. Another Redlands player overruns it, but Brewer finally gets a handle on it for the Bombers. Goes inside forward 50. Hughes from the back. Now gathers on the bounce. Good tackle there by Brennan. Working it out is Keller. Gets it across to Grayson. Has to go further across to Pope, who just goes around the corner. The kick wasn't good because Pfeiffer is there, and they will reload. They're at centre half forward.
That was an awful kick from Fraser Pope. Just popped it up. Too many numbers. Not the right option as Pfeiffer. Sells the dummy to the man on the mark. Now unloads from 55 to the goal square. That's awful too. There was no Redland Bombers player there. Just the Southport player on his own in Burton to save the day. The Southport defence now through Ben Headland. As we say, playing his 100th game for the Sharks today. Started slowly but worked his way into it. Now Wells comes outside 50 to the outer wing. Beautiful kick to Shreve. Can he control it? He does. Stuck the one hand out. Gets it to Geary over his head. At the back, Josh Smith takes the ball. Handball over the top. Thompson back to Smith down the outer side. Salter will have a crack at it. No, it goes over the head of he and his opponent. Picked up by Wade Mills. He ends up with it. Back from Brennan. Southport moving forward again. As the siren sounds, Kanga, well, there's a lot of back and forth on the half-back line to half-back line. We've had it for the last couple of quarters. It's 20 points the margin. Only 3 points scored by the Redland Bombers in that term to 3 goals, 3 to the Southport Sharks. How did you see it, Liam, stats-wise?
Well, if we just take a quick run through, for Southport, Burge with the 25, Tyne up to 24, Pope also 24. For Redland, we've got Pfeiffer with 25, Stephen 19, and Castle also with the 19. But he's been well held since quarter time by Tyler Cornish, who's done a pretty good job on Phil Cass.
Absolutely, and just the 3 goals again, just epitomising the fact that it is quite a defensive game despite the ball going back and forth. I think both teams will sleep well tonight, especially the midfield. They've been up and down the ground relentlessly. And it is Southport who have gained the ascendancy at 3/4 time.
So 20 points the margin, 8-9-57 plays 5-7-37 in favour of the Southport Sharks. It's round 16, Neefle TV action. We'll be back with the final term very shortly here on Neefle TV.
think he... Not good, Kangar. It was Sam.
Welcome back to NEFL TV. It's round 16. The Southport Sharks at home at Fankhauser Reserves to the Redland Bombers. It is 6th versus 5th. A cracking game so far. 20 points the margin at three-quarter time with Southport holding sway. Michael Price and Mark Kennedy calling your action. Liam Dettering, NEFL journalist, with all his special comments. And fellas, do you think Southport will hold sway here, or can Redland summon up a little bit more accuracy to get over the top?
Well, I went very early in the third quarter after they got out to that 14-point lead, so I certainly think they'll hold on from here, but Kangar might think a bit differently.
Well, Redland are going to have to find an avenue to goal. That is a certainty. As we see Brennan go over the top, here's Mills, been influential in the middle. Goes to Pope. Pope, the kick wasn't the best. Gets past a lot of the traffic though. Passfield just tries to mop up, finds Howard, and Howard goes to half forward, but only as far as Burton.
So Burton takes the mark for Southport. Starting the quarter well, Burton, except he just looks for Wade Mills. Kick didn't have enough on it, so it was intercepted now. Phil Cast, the co-captain, hits the ball at speed. Handballs it forward to Thompson. Let's go from 50. How about this? Yo, beauty from Matt Thompson. 4 goals last week against Eastlake, and that's his first of the day. And that's what the Bombers needed to get them moving in this final term. It's now 14 points the margin.
Well, how about the kick outside 50 off one step? Just went back and slotted it. It was a huge kick from Matt Thompson, and it's brought Redland right back into it. So I might have to revise that prediction.
Well, it doesn't take away from the fact that neither side have really had a big key forward that's taken a hold of the game. We've seen a couple of goals from Baxter, but he really hasn't had a lot of the football. Goldsmith hasn't had a lot of the football. And up the other end, you've had big parts by Passfield, and then you've got Zufa. Had a couple of long shots at goal, and of course Cleve Hughes, he's only got the one to his name, so we're looking for something, a big forward to stand up. Back in the middle. Neither side gets it away, but Hunter does. He regathers it. A hunter-gatherer. Goes up towards Hughes. Gives it off to the goal kicker in Thompson. Wrapped up that nicely that time by Burton. And we'll have a throw in 50 metres around from Redland's goal.
Now the Redland player very, very ginger getting up there. The goal kicker in Matt Thompson. The boundary throw in right where the 50-metre arc intersects the boundary line. Hunter over the back, slaps it towards the goal. Stewart overruns it for the Sharks. Pfeiffer then gets it back to Keys. Keys inside 50. The Southport defensive got it covered though.
It's Jake Keller again back there with the saving mark.
Has had a very good game, methinks, does Keller. Kicks it towards Brennan over the head of the big fella. It's slapped there by Tyler Jones. We'll do it all again, a boundary throw in.
Zufa got Keller early on the lead, on the hit-up leads, but since Keller's really tightened up, he's taken a hold of that position on the ground, there's no doubt.
Throw in again, so Brennan. Hunter doing very, very well, slaps it down. Now it's taken again by Jones. He's collected, gets rid of the ball. Brewer just scrubs a little kick forward. Boy, there's a lot of players around the ball. Darren Stewart for the Southport Sharks slaps it out. Tyne, he's tackled, ball stuck underneath several, and we'll do it all again. It'll be a ball up right on the 50-metre arc.
Yeah, and just back to that battle with Zufa. He's had 11 touches for the day, but the majority in that second quarter. But since half-time, as you mentioned, Kangar, Keller's been terrific on him.
Plenty of players around this stoppage. Damien Stephen played for the free kick. Here's Keller again. He's done well, this time on the left. Smith edged his way to the front of Goldsmith, but Goldsmith was smart about it. Edged it away, up to Shreve, and Geary tried to trap it with the one hand in front of Scott and couldn't do so, and it runs out of bounds right in front of the Redland coaching box.
Now you can sense that both teams know how important this game is. A finals berth could be on the line here in the NEFL competition. Cast, tackled by Cornish, thrown over the line. Absolutely brilliant tackling by both sides today. Very big defensive effort.
And that's been another very good defensive role that's been played by a Southport player. Tyler Cornish has been excellent since he's been moved on to Phil Cast.
The throw in over the head of Walbers. Hunter actually grabbed it out of the ruck. Walbers took it off him, tried to get it to Burge. It's intercepted by Howard for the Bombers. Kicks it forward. Is that Burton with a diving, saving mark at half back? Tell you what, if he let that go, there was going to be all hell to pay for Southport. He brings it down the line. It's taken there by Tyler Cornish, doing the good job on Cass. He goes inboard. Dangerous kick. Wade Mills takes the mark, then plays on. Fraser Pope long inside 50. At the back, Baxter. Will he control it? Oh, well done. Just a little foot in there from Tyler Jones. Kick the ball away. They have the numbers here, the Bombers, then they should be away through Smith.
And this is Salter with the ball, one of the co-captains, looking to lead by example. Here's Brewer. Brewer has the short pass to Passfield, can go wide to Josh Smith. He's got Salter over the top. He's wrapped up, so the pressure comes again from Southport. They have to retreat backwards, back to Josh Smith. And Smith can kick short, go to Salter once again. They wax, just racking up the champion data stats. Thanks to Neefle TV. We'll give Neefle TV a credit. They've had plenty of stats today. And Smith will go back to Brewer, and they'll find a little bit of room up the middle of the ground. And now it's with Andrew Smith, and he's away.
Andrew Smith drills a past Cleve Hughes a long way up the ground, takes the mark right on centre wing. It leaves the forward 50 very open. He goes inside to the centre circles and finds Brad Howard, who's racked him up again this week. Sells a dummy to Mills on the mark and plays on. Inside 50, he kicks it over the head of Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer reads the bounce well, collects. What's he going to do? Pivots onto the left. He's tackled. And Darren Stewart picks it up for Southport. They should clear. Oh, it gets to half back for the Sharks. Nice defensive effort there by Wells, it looks like. Kicks it across half back. Adam Clark, he's got Haslam running for him, and Southport reload again. Half back to half back again, Kanga.
Certainly is. Pope, the kick wasn't a good one, didn't find a target. Cornish is forced to just gather it. Clark retreats to Burton, distinctive in those boots. Find him in a dark night. Back to Grayson, goes across the field, doesn't quite get there on the full to Weller, but he's got a fair bit of leg speed, running away from Pfeiffer. The fresh young legs taking bounce after bounce. He's now on the centre wing, out of side. Goes towards Geary. Malone just did not judge it well, the Redlands ruckman. Now Geary, he's got big Wolbers. Go Big Willie. He gives it off to Clark. Clark can shoot for goal. This will just about seal it, and he kicks it. So Adam Clark, been lively. He kicked one of the first. He's kicked one of the last. He extends the lead, and a decisive margin for Southport now.
We just saw a really good passage of play there from Lockie Weller coming off the half-back line. Just used his leg speed to get away from Pfeiffer, kicked the ball forward, and Malone just misjudged it in the air, got over the back. Geary was able to find, the big ruckman Wolbers, who was open, gave off a handball to Clark, who ran in and kicked a pretty important goal for Southport.
It's a shame for Malone. He actually put himself in the right position, the big fella, and just completely misread the flight of the ball. Brewer didn't, though, did beautifully and moved the ball on quickly. Well done to the Southport Sharks. Back to that 20-point margin as it was at three-quarter time. Malone gets the slap down towards the outer side. Slowing it down. They've taken the free kick here. That's with Brewer again in the middle. He gives the ball back to Damien Stephen. They're mucking around with it here. They've got lots of the Southport Sharks in front of them, confusing the issue. Will it bounce for Passfield? It does. Just gets his toe to the ball over the head of Zuffa. And again, the Southport defence should get it, except for Pfeiffer putting on the tackle of Mellon. Darren Stewart, though, composed. Drills it over to his teammate. It's going to end up here again with Ed Mellon. Tell you what, he's been lively this week, your man Kanga, the enigma in Ed Mellon. He's done it at both ends of the ground today.
He certainly has. Goes out towards Clark. Kicked the last goal. Given a good block there by Hill. So Clark goes. Not sure where to go. Ran a fair way. Gave it to Wolbers, who was under pressure from Malone. Now Clark, he can just rack up another one. Gets it into the middle to Weller. Weller, he's got Keller. Weller to Keller. He can go away and launch it inside forward 50 up towards Geary. Jones is there with him. And Jones keeps his feet, and Redland, through Damien Stephen, they should get out of jail, and the ball now with Scott in the back pocket.
So Luke Scott, they've got to get a wriggle on the Bombers if this is going to be anything like a win for them. Phil Lovett now wants another chipping ball to the agency of Josh Smith. Smith has a couple in the middle. He chooses his young mate in Ben Keys, who I think's had a very good game today. Puts it along to Godfrey. Godfrey across the half-back line to Salter. Salter sees Brad Rees on the outer side. He's got runners going for him. Keys ran past. He's going to get the ball again now. Good hard running from Ben Keys. Takes it between wing and half forward. He sees Godfrey. Hits him as well. He's got a number of players calling for it, including Landry, right on the 50-metre arc for the Bombers. Now, that's some positive movement. Let's see if they can get something going inside 50. Chipping ball well read by Ben Wells, who puts on the big spoil and crunches his opponent as well as Southport clear the ball. Fraser Pope did well. Good second effort. Gets the handball inboard. Now Baxter spoiled by Scott. The Bombers with the ball again. They're going to go to half forward again. Landry takes the mark. Handball inboard to Keys. Keys lets go from outside 50. Hughes at the back. Just went wide. One behind for the Bombers. A lot of possession for not a lot of result.
And Keys just didn't quite strike that one cleanly. He got it on a bit of the instep and it just tumbled through for a behind there.
So the Southport player in Hill just plays onto himself. Just launches it outside forward 50. He's also his defensive 50. And Grayson runs it over the line. Crucial minutes here for Redland, and Southport have the momentum. Hunter, it's been good today. Landry has tried to work it across there. Intercepted by Brennan, put Pope under pressure, who in turn put Clark under the hammer. And just out of bounds again.
So we saw Clark fumble it out there, but I think he's been one who's added a lot to Southport. He's a really zippy kind of player. He's had 19 disposals for the game. He's just added a lot of speed to their midfield. He's sort of the point of difference in there, if you like.
Ball back in again, so Hunter, Clark, just over the top there. Didn't infringe according to the umpire. Hunter tries to barge his way through. Wrapped up there by Headland and Cornish. And we'll have a ball up once again, half forward for Redland. Clubhouse side.
And 19 points the margin in favour of Southport. A game befitting a mini-final, 5th versus 6th. Of course, the winner of this, well, not ensuring a place in the finals, but giving them a hell of a better chance of doing so, competing in the finals. The ball is in the middle now. Andrew Smith under pressure, put himself under pressure in the end by playing on. The ball ends up with Lovett. Lovett now, good lead and hits the target there as Daniel Zufa. Good safe hands. He could kick this. Wheels around on the left foot. He starts it right. Will it bend back? No, not quite. He had the length but not the line. So they're edging closer. And it's 18 points the margin here. We've played about 12 minutes of the final term.
So Thine gives it to Burge. Burge shaped to give it back. Bit of the old 1-2 between a lot of the midfield here. But in turn, gives it to big Kieran Brennan. He'll just chew up a little bit of time, go laterally. Off with Wells. You know, a little bit of loose ball there with Stewart. And the kick there that time was good and finds Shreve. So Shreve still at half back. Keller. The kick wasn't a good one, and that was out of bounds on the full, so Redland will repel and have the chance to launch again. This is Brad Rees.
So Brad Rees has the ball on the interchange gates for the Redland Bombers. They're trailing by 18 points, about 13 minutes gone final term. Rees sets it up. It's not a well-directed kick. In fact, that is straight down the throat of the big man in Kieran Brennan. He takes it for the Sharks. They're away again through Wells in the middle. He's confronted by Howard. Slows it down. He's got a couple running for him in the middle. Grayson down the guts. And plenty across half-back. Nobody's standing the mark, in fact, so he just saunters up the corridor and drills one to Goldsmith. He's got big Will Walbers, who's just come off the interchange bench and leading towards half-forward. Well-weighted kick to him, so Walbers at half-forward. He's going to be called to play on. He does so. He kicks it to the hot spot. There's a packet, a big fly. Is that Geary? What a great grab that is. Floated across the front of the pack, and what a great set of hands there for Cal Geary. Great grab.
Yeah, terrific from Geary. He's been a really good presence across half forward for them today. The 16 disposals, lining up for his third goal, and that was just brilliant the way he shaded in there from the side of the contest and took a really nice
He's been more
line.
as a midfielder this year, and he's half forward. He's certainly been lively across there.
From 25 metres out, slide angle. Oh, that's a mung. Lucky to hit his foot as it hits the behind post and out of bounds on the full. So it usually happens after you take mark of the day like that. To Cal Geary, and it will be the Redland Bombers having the free kick in the back pocket with Josh Smith.
Massive let-off though. The low-scoring game, if you kick that, you'd sense the game's over, but just Redlands, it gives them that little bit of a sniff.
Smith asked to go, has a target up the middle, and it's Scott. It's Luke Scott. Goes out, finds a teammate. That was Salter. Turnover comes once again. So this is Stewart, gives it off to Haslam. Inside was looking for Burge, I think, but overcooked it. Mills is in there as well. Grew up, working hard. Southport still maintaining possession here. Back to Mills. They still maintain the numbers here and possession. It's Stein, and he just dinks it down the line to Stewart, I think it is. So Stewart. And just puts it into Goldsmith, and now they're at half forward.
So Southport through the big fella, kicks it long, and at the back, Passfield with a big spoil over the top of Brewer. Reading it nicely was Grayson, giving the handball back to Clark. Dinks one to Brewer, punched away from him. It was Wells, in fact, by Howard. Howard received a handball he probably didn't want, gives it to Cast. Cast chipped it forward under pressure from Cornish. So Wade Mills has it. He wheels around, kicks it into the middle, and he finds Tyne. Tyne now. There's Luke Shreve, takes it just in front of the centre circles. He's got the lead of Haslam, puts it in front of him. It bounces unkindly. Rees puts himself in for the Bombers, and they should be able to repel down the outer side. Yuba gang, and the ball ends up with Phil Cast, the co-captain.
Cars, just running Tyler Cornish hard here. Here's Hughes, a long way from goal again. Gives it over the top. Here's Salter, just getting the overlap. Just gets a short one forward. Has Pfeiffer. He can go to the top to Thompson. Thompson can shoot for goal. And he gets it. His player or teammate liked it in the goal square, so that's why I called it. And the goal umpire agreed. And Thompson, that's his second for the quarter, second for the game. And Redland are alive.
Yeah, he certainly hasn't had the big stats today as he has in past weeks, Matt Thompson, but he's kicked 2 vital goals in this last quarter just to keep Redland alive. Southport will have to battle really hard. It's going to come right down to the wire, I think, now.
2 straight goals, 17 and a half minutes gone of the final term. This is game on, round 16, NEFL TV at Fankhauser.
And this is where we're going to see the running ability of Southport. As we mentioned, that 6-day break earlier versus the 7-day break, and a few injuries that made them work hard last week.
And just coming back to that missed goal from Geary, how big could that be in the outcome of this game?
Well, the kicking hasn't been a feature today, and both sides have had some errant goal kicking.
So Walbers versus Hunter, we'll call it a draw, but it ends up there with Brewer, who's tackled as he gets rid of the ball. Looping handball looking for Cast now. Taken without the ball was Adam Clark, called so by the umpire. He'll take the free kick. Absolutely belted into the ground, taking his time to get up too is Adam Clark. Played well today, as you say before, Liam. He injects a bit of speed into this Southport Sharks lineup. He's got a lead coming from Goldsmith. Puts it above his head though. Goldsmith going back. Wasn't favoured by the kick. Passfield spoiled. Howard mops up back to Passfield. Now it's with Salter. Salter down the line. Good smother from Wade Mills. The pressure's still on. Tapped in board. Smith gets around his opponent. Wheels onto the left. He spears a pass to the Ranger in Brewer. Turns around. Another good pass. Finds Zuffa, 60 metres from goal, looking for the lead of Hughes, and it's an ill-directed kick from the Zoof. It's intercepted by Jake Keller. Southport breathe a sigh of relief.
So Pope, I'll let Michael Price have a breath. He was getting excited there. The ball goes back to Keller. Been one of the best for the Sharks for mine today. To Thine. I racked him up early. Here's Pope. Got it from Mills. The pressure comes. The tackle comes from Ubergang and he's gone.
That's a vital 2-on-1 in the middle, Kanga.
A solo Ubergang tackle. Goes straight to half forward. The numbers are with Southport and the free kick was given away there by Hughes.
But Mills, he just gave the 1 metre handball and then didn't provide the shepherd after. Just a strange decision in the end.
So Clark gives it to Wells. We haven't seen much of Wells today. A bit of it last week, but not as much today. Gets it to Grayson. Just getting it around. Now they'll just try and fill the bag up with stats for Wells.
Well, they've just got to slow down the tempo here. Redland are well on top. They've just got to try and arrest the control back in the match to Southport at the moment.
So overcooks it, coming through hard. There, a clash of heads. We'll just see how that pans out. His Cars gets through. The tackle came. Good work there by Keys. Gets it off to Smith, goes inside forward 50, and it's a push on play, and it'll be Cleve Hughes that takes a free kick.
Just Kanga behind play. Luke Shreve, who put himself in very, very hard against the ruckman in Hunter, still down, attended to by the trainers. He's up now. Still looks a bit groggy, though. That was a massive, massive clash.
Good courage from both players going hard at the ball. So Cleve Hughes, narrow the margin, back to one straight kick if he can get it. Looks good off the boot, and it is. So 6 points now, the margin at Fankhauser Reserve, which we see Luke Shreve coming from the ground. So a little bit of run there, coming off away from the Southport Sharks. Luckily, their captain Jason Burge coming back on. But Liam, it is very much game on back here at Fankhauser Reserve.
Well, certainly, we've seen 3 very close games between the sides this year, and I just wonder if it starts to play on Southport's mind that they have dropped these 2 close games to Redland earlier in the year. Redland obviously would have spoken about that at three-quarter time and taken a lot of confidence into this last quarter, because one of those 2 wins was them coming from behind in the last. And it looks like they might be on track to do it again.
Oh, it looks like they are coming home with the wet sail. 21.5 gone, final term. There's only 1 straight goal. The difference as the Bombers get the clearance. Vital out of the middle from Scott. Kicks it to half forward. The big leap from Pfeiffer. Couldn't control the ball. It hits the deck. Now Thompson tackled by Tyne. Ball spills. Pfeiffer puts himself in again. Cast. Nice little fend and handball off to Thompson again. Long inside 50. Hughes with the spoil. Zufa with the crumb. It's spoiled again there. Ball hits the deck and held in underneath. And that's another bullet dodge from the Sharks, methinks, as the umpire will ball it up right next to the boundary line inside the Bombers forward 50. They're only trailing by a goal.
So great game here on NEFL TV. Coming down to the crunch time. Free kick on the play there against Will Walbers. He'll go to Big Malone. The mailman. Can he be the mailman? I've named him that in honour of Carl Malone, ex-Utah Jazz.
If he can
in the
deliver.
NBA. Big Carl Malone, he will deliver. Comes in, looks awkward off the boot. Going close, it's right to the line. Touched.
Probably the best kick of his career there from the line, and not quite good enough to get over the line.
I'm not sure if that's a backhanded compliment there from Liam Dettering.
No, it was a super kick, just very unlucky to be touched on the line.
And it is Wade Mills who has the ball in the back pocket.
5 points the margin. Southport holding on with around about 23 minutes gone to the final term. Great chase, here it comes. Just got the kick away. Ball bounces for Pfeiffer. Own teammate gets in the way to Howard. He's got a free man at half forward. It bounces for Thompson. Handball over the top now. It's with Stephen back inside. Oh, it just nice little hand there from Burge. Just got the ball for Southport's advantage. Handball back to Brewer. Off a step. Hughes takes the mark on the goal line. Cleve Hughes will step back and kick his 3rd and put the Redland Bombers in front by a point.
Massive finish to this game.
Cleve Hughes does so. Oh, the wet sail for the Redland Bombers, and Southport overrun. 1 point the margin in favour of Redland here at Fankhauser Reserve.
What a game. That's all I'll say. It looked like it might have been over there when Southport kicked their first of the last quarter. But Redland have really struck back, and what has been a theme for this last half of this last quarter is the run and carry and the real taking of the game on from Redlands.
Well, these two teams certainly know how to put on a show, don't they? Another riveting contest between the two sides. The inside 50s, which have been even all day, Redland started to break clear. They've now had 48 to 39 inside 50s. Weighted numbers just starting to show on Southport in the end here.
Well, Cleve Hughes, he put it onto the ground out the back there, so we will have a little bit of break in play. Give us a chance to catch our breath and give the players a chance to catch their breath for what will be the last vital minutes of this round. Well, 16 clash of NEFL between these two sides, 5th and 6th on the ladder, and of course this is a vital game for Southport's finals aspirations.
So in the third term, Redland only with the 3 behinds in the final term so far. They have kicked 4 goals, 3. That's the answer for them. As you said early on, Kanga, they needed to find that avenue to goal. Cleve Hughes has stepped up with a couple in this final term. 1 point the margin, and we played 25 minutes of the final term. Let's see what happens here, Kanga, at the centre bounce.
So Brennan and Hunter, the two number 1 ruckman. They win the clearance. It's Godfrey. Breaks away from Mellon. He goes inside forward 50. So another forward entry. Just working.
Pushing the back. That's
so it is a free kick there, and it'll go to Cleve Hughes. I was about to say working his opponent under the ball nicely was Hill, but the umpire does not agree.
Mammoth decision. Mammoth decision. I thought it was a bit 50-50, but so the umpire in the correct position to make the call, but Hill will be feeling a little bit cheated there, I think.
It was play on for mine personally. However, we see Cleve Hughes come in to give Southport a knife right to the heart of their finals aspirations. And Hughes kicks his 4th and the 3rd for this last quarter.
Well, so often you see Cleve Hughes, he can go 3 quarters without having much impact on the contest, but just when he kicks goals, they come in a hurry, and he's kicked 3 in this last quarter to put Redlands right in the ascendancy. And this is going to be a crushing blow for Southport. If they lose today, they're out of the top 6. Ainsley will take their place.
And might I add, and again, Liam, I might ask you this one. I think Cleve Hughes kicked 3 or 4 goals in the last quarter of their last meeting to get Redland over the line in that game as well.
Certainly did, and you said a big forward needed to step up, and we've got one stepping up right now. Cleve Hughes just showing his class in the last when really needed.
So 7 points the margin. The Bombers holding sway late in the final term. Now they have the ball through Cass, and errant handball, but it's nicely picked up there by Pfeiffer. Kicks it to the outer wing. Big contest. Greer met by Headland, but Greer got the handball away. Stephen, can he control it? He does, but he's tackled as he does so. They've still got the ball on a string of the Bombers. Down the outer side, Zuffa, Landry has a bounce, runs to 65 metres, kicks it to the hot spot. Tyne over the back for Southport. Good spoil over Thompson, and we'll have a throw in the left forward pocket.
Tyne's been less influential in this game the longer it's gone on today. He was a lot of possession early.
Yeah, he had a very good first half. He's still had the 28 disposals, but as you say, the lion's share of those were in the first half.
Ball back in. Ubergang came over the back, tried to influence it. Underneath there was Grayson. Good ball by hand there to Burge, who only manages to kick it high in the air. Pfeiffer had a fist to it. I think he was looking for the mark. Plenty of Redlands players around it. Salter just buffers it forward. Ubergang can't quite take it. Good tackling and forward pressure there on Burge, so forces a turnover. Landry turns around, snaps a goal. And off to the left-hand side of the post.
We just see Southport have stopped running. When that ball spilled free in the back 50 for them, all the numbers were with Redlands, and Landry probably should have done better with the left-footed snap there.
Now the Sharks need to get a wriggle on. They do so through Burton, who handballs and plays on to Ben Headland. Headland, yes, that's going to have to be you, Adam Plug. He doesn't look like he was reading that ball very well at all. And the Bombers have it through Howard. Chips it over now to Josh Smith. Smith just wants to say, OK, it's nearly 29 minutes gone, final term, let's slow it down. We're leading by 8 points, the Bombers. Down the line now, it's with Ben Keys. Cracking game from a young player, Ben Keys, as well today, Liam Dettering. He's had a number of stats.
Certainly 28th disposal for him there. He's been super.
Going backwards now. Southport have to man up if they've got a hope here, because Redland will do this for the next 5-10 minutes. It doesn't matter. There goes the siren. They've been run over here at home, Southport, by the Redland Bombers. What a cracking final term from them. 5 goals, 4 to the single goal to Southport. And that is a great running last quarter, with Cleve Hughes being damaging. 3 great goals in the final term. What a great final term after that arm wrestle in the first couple of terms, and the Bombers get up by 8 points, Kanga.
Well, it took until the three-quarter time or after that for the game to open up a little bit with, again, some key forwards and some scoring, and it was Redland that really did open it up with some precise, dynamic, really attacking direct football in order to get over the line.
And Redland have had some good wins this year, but that, I reckon, is by far their most important. With the game in hand, they've now put a 2-game gap between them and Southport. A game in hand on Ainsley as well, who they've got a game on. So they now sit comfortably inside that top 6 with another crunch match next week against the Aspley Hornets. And Southport, into the bye next week, they're going to have a really big 4 weeks to try and get back in finals contention, because, as I just mentioned, they've dropped outside of the top 6. As it stands.
So that was the big prize at the end of this game, and of course they're both sides throwing everything at each other. Very defensive in the middle couple of quarters. It was Southport by 7 points at the first change, 2 points at half time. Southport led by 20 points at three-quarter time, but they were overrun in the last term by a rampaging Redland Bombers.
And they almost doubled their own score from three-quarter time, Redland. They were 37 points at three-quarter time. They ended up on 71 points. They kicked 5 goals, 4, and a phenomenal effort to come back and win this game.
Well, it's a nice little bonus to have somebody like Cleve Hughes sitting as your figurehead when you've called for it, Kanga, halfway through the third term. Redland just needed that figurehead, and they got it. He worked his way into the game, and as you said, Liam, he just piles on goals very quickly when he's given the opportunities. 3 quick ones in the last term, and that's what turned it around.
Well, certainly finished with 4 goals too from the game, with only his 14 disposals, and up until that third quarter you wouldn't say he was a key player on the game, but he turned out to be the most influential at the end of the game.
So who were the major stats winners for the day?
Well, we'll just start with the victors, and Darren Pfeiffer had a really good first half. He faded a bit in the second, but still his best game of the year, I think. He finished with 29 touches, 7 marks, and the 2 inside 50s. Josh Smith accumulated quietly all day, ended up finishing with the 28 and the 10 marks, while young Ben Keys, who we talked about a number of times, was very good with 28 disposals. And for the losers, Southport, Jason Burge had 30 touches, Fraser Pope with 30 as well, but both of them faded as the game went on, and Stephen Tyne also, who faded, had 29. But a massive win for Redland in the context of the season.
Absolutely. What a game in the end, and what a performance by the Redland Bombers to run down the home side, the Southport Sharks, here at Fankhauser Reserve on a beautiful day, round 16, and puts them, as you say, nicely and comfortably inside the top 6. 8 points was the final margin, with the Redland Bombers 10-11-71 over Southport 9-9-63. I've been Michael Price, Mark Kennedy calling all your action, with the special comments from NEFL journalist Liam Dettering doing a bang-up job, and we'll catch you next time here on NEFL TV.